Hello, how is everyone today? I am back. I'm back as promised. Um, Today I want to really get it in with this publishing thing. Ooh wee. Today I'm gonna get it in. I have some 4 tips for you concerning so you published your book, now what? So we are going to, hello, thank you for everyone joining. So I titled this, hold on one second. Okay, so I titled it, so you published your book, now what? So now we need to talk about sales. We need to talk about why haven't you sold any books? Because to be honest with you, now I don't have an accurate number for this, but people self-publish books and then don't sell any books. So first, I totally skipped over my introduction. My name is Tiffany Green. I am the beautiful boss. I am the CEO of Black Writer Space. I support authors and writers, and I also assist in consulting with you to help you get your book published. I am not a publishing company who give you one of these whack publishing contracts, which I talked about in my previous scope, that will have you just totally lost, no book sales, whack book cover, and just totally wasted your time, but to actually teach you the business and show you what needs to be done and how to do it the correct way. So also, I'm a wedding photographer. I am the owner of Andriana Parker Photography. So basically, I'm an entrepreneur. I am someone you should know. Now, getting down to the nitty-gritty. So you published your book, and now what? So now, your book is published. However you went about doing it, it's published, it's done. It's in front of you. Now, what are you going to do with it? Now, a lot of times, I think where we go wrong as self-published authors and being in this independent status, because you're not signed by this major publishing company and they're going to do all this marketing for you, you have to do the footwork yourself. So with that being said, a lot of times we depend on our family and friends to support us and to be the first ones to purchase our book. Not gonna happen. Now, if you have a great support system, because I have seen in certain situations where people do have a great support system, then by all means utilize that, and you can use that to sell more books. But if you don't have it, don't sit back and wait for someone to for your family and friends to purchase your book, and you're frustrated about it and nobody's supporting you. Guess what? You have to create some events on your own. So that's what I want to talk about today. There's no reason. I know so many people who have books and they have not sold anything other than their first book signing or their launch, the day that they launched their book, whether it be online or in person. Other than a few people that maybe have showed up and they sold books too, and then that's it. Or they may have a great turnout and then they sold tons of books that day. And let's say they had 100 books and sold all 100 books that particular day, and then after that, nothing else. So I want to talk about that because it should be a consistent, ongoing thing where you are constantly brainstorming and creating some really unique ideas to continue to sell your book. You have to get yourself out there. I do not believe in the waiting to get your name out there thing when it comes to business. That's another scope. But I'm saying that a bit in this subject because in this industry, you do have to kind of get your name out there. But what I'm saying is you have to make people know who you are. You have to make people know who you are. So I just want to go over these 4 tips. And my first one is book signings. So if your book is already published, I don't know when it may have released, last month, 2 months ago. Have you had a book signing yet? 6 months ago? If you released a book this year, have you had a book signing? And if you have had a book signing, when is your next one? See, we sit back and we wait for opportunities for events to come to us. And as I said, I believe I said in my scope yesterday about you can create your own events. You can create your own events. Plan something. Give it a title. Come up with a title, a location. Find an inexpensive spot to have it at and go for it. It's so many different creative ways to have book signings. That's going to be another scope now. For me to give you out some of my creative ideas, that's going to be another scope. But your first one should be a book signing. That should be the first thing you should be doing. And you should continue to have book signings. You should have book signings every month. Once a month. This use of "you too busy," that's bull. Because what did you write this book for? What you write it for? Other than, if it's a self-help, other than trying to get information out to people, how is the information going to get to the people if you haven't sold any books? If nobody has a copy of it, they don't know what information you have in it, they have no way to know how to purchase your book, nothing. So you should be scheduling book signings once a month, a couple times a month, every week. Different areas. If you're in a big city like Chicago, you should be having one on the south side, one on the north side, one on the east side. Market it on Facebook. Use those paid ads. Send out group text messages. You can send out group messenger messages on Facebook. Come on, we got all these social media platforms we're on, and we're not utilizing them. They are free, people. Free. Zero. Moolah. Nothing. Cost you nothing. So utilize that and schedule you some book signings. Invite some people out. Run some contests online. Give away some free books. See, I'm giving y'all. Y'all not gonna get these free nuggets today. Okay, so number one is book signings. Number two is make yourself available for events. So if you know someone that's having an event, even if you don't know anybody having an event, you can look on Eventbrite. Go to the website, go to eventbrite.com, type in your city and see what events they got coming up. Duh. They have vendor tables available. Find out how much the vendor tables are. If they have tickets online, unless it's a free event. Even if it's a free event, they may charge a little fee to have a vendor table. But you can have a vendor table at these events and sell some books. And it doesn't have to be a book event. It could be a fashion show. If they are having vendors, you can still have a vendor table and have your books right there. You run into all kind of people. It's readers at fashion shows. Duh. So book signings and make yourself available for events. And in order to make yourself available for events, someone needs to know that you are a speaker. Someone needs to know that you're available to, for speaking engagements. So that should be on your business card. That should be added to your website. If you don't have a website, create one. You can create a one-pager and put author, writer, publisher, whatever it is that you're trying to do, a public speaker, for speaking engagements, contact, and put an email address. Put your business number. You don't have a business number, use your cell phone number. You don't want to use your cell phone number, get on Google and get a free Google number. I'm giving out free nuggets now. Y'all ain't ready. Okay, so number one is book signings. Number two is make yourself available for events. Number three is start your email list. That should have been the first thing you did. Your email list should have been started before your book released. Before your book launched, you should have already been collecting email addresses so you can start sending out emails to the people on your list so they can know when your launch date is, when your book events are. Boom. See, you use your audience, and it doesn't matter how big, how large your email list is or how small it is. You utilize that as your audience. Other than the people on Facebook who ain't clicking on nothing you posted in the first place and who ain't doing nothing. Utilize the people that are on your email list because they voluntarily signed up. Somewhere you posted, sign up for my email list. because of XYZ. So when they gave you their email, they're giving you permission to send them emails, to send you info, to send them info. You're giving them their, hold on, you know I get excited. They are giving you permission to send them emails to keep them informed about what you have going on. Okay, so now with that being said, that's your audience. That is who you can, whatever you got going on. If you releasing a new product, you're releasing a new book, you having a new book launch, you having an event for writers, for authors, you having an event of whatever kind of event you having, that's your email list. So utilize that. That's number 3. Number 4 is make sure that you have books on hand. You should not be going anywhere without some copies of your books with you. If you're going to a family reunion, sure enough, you better have you better make a special order of books, because you know that family reunion coming up, and all your cousins and your family and all of them gonna be there. Go ahead, babe, and talk about that, because they need, yeah, they do need to know. They sure do, and I hope they listening. So you need to have books on hand. On hand, wherever you going. If you're going to a family reunion, if you're going to an event, a lot of, especially networking events, I wouldn't say so much go to somebody else's event. You know, if somebody else is having a book launch, you don't go to their book launch and sell your book. You don't do that. Don't be disrespectful. Now that's, you know, that's kind of low. But if you're going to a networking event where it's other entrepreneurs there, it's other people there, networking, that's what networking is for. You can collect email addresses there just by conversation with people. You can sell your book there. I mean, you can have, I'm not saying walk in the event with your books, but have them jokers in the trunk. Have them in the trunk, because once you get to talking to people and you say you got a book and this and that, they may want to copy right then. So make sure that you are always ready, on hand, have your books with you. That's all I'm saying. So now we're gonna go back over this. Number 1 was book signings. Make yourself available for events. Starting your email list. That should have been number 1. Starting your email list, because that's your audience that you can always shoot out emails weekly, a couple times a week, or however often that you're doing something new. And not always to sell something. You can send emails out to give motivational tips and things like that. I do have an email list, and I will be, where will I be at? I won't be anywhere. I won't be anywhere yet, but I will be giving out my links maybe tomorrow. I may have it ready for tomorrow, but I will be giving out my links. I do have an email list, and I'm gonna start back taking people to add people on my email list in my next few scopes, so you guys will have more information on how to contact me and how to get on my email list. So number 1 was book signings. Make yourself available for events. Start your email list. And number 4, make sure you have books on hand. So since you have just published your book and you ain't did nothing, because most people don't. Now, I have been so inspired by seeing authors who have published their books. Their book covers are on point, their website is on point, it's professional. I'm like, oh, that's hot, you know. Yeah, I'm buying that book. So but most of y'all don't have it together. Y'all published the book, and then the book's sitting on the shelf some dang on where you ain't looked at it, don't nobody even know you wrote. Folk forgot you wrote a book. Folk forgot you wrote a book. Call you for what? You need some publishing? You buying? You pushing the buy button today? What these people on Periscope, Lord. So yeah, make sure you have books on hand. Well, you can shoot me an email. My email is blackwriterspace. You can write this down. Blackwriterspace is all one word with 2 S's at gmail.com. And we can discuss what kind of services you are in need of. That's how we do that.